Today on the channel, we dig into the figures toy company PCO. Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another wrestling figure unboxing and review, and something special today with the figures toy company PCO. We don't unbox a ton of figure toy company figures on the channel. Maybe we've done one or two in the past. I have a handful in my collection. Who do I have? Shane Douglas, Colt Cabana, Blue Meanie, The Demon, PCO, New Jack. I have a few. I dabble. I pick and choose. Some guys I really like that don't have other figures, or guys that would, with smoke and mirrors, go in my collection very well. And that's what PCO does a little bit. I like PCO. I've been a fan since the Quebecer days, Carl Ouellette days with Jacques Rougeau, the Mountie, depending how you call it. I've been a fan for a while. He disappeared for a while, went to WCW, I guess, for a little bit, but disappeared for a long while. Then came back with a vengeance, as most of you guys know, as the monster PCO. I was lucky enough to see an indie match with him and Walter in person in my hometown. I didn't have to drive very far, which was really nice. And that day, he forever stole my heart and never let go. So I've been a big PCO fan ever since. Easily my favorite wrestler in Ring of Honor, that's for sure. So I had to jump on this when it was announced. But like many things with Figures Toy Company, we see these things announced, and it's a year or years until they hit the market. I'm looking at that Sandman, the Surfer Sandman, I guess we'd call him, USA Sandman. When will we ever get that figure? I'm not sure. But like I said, I do dabble with these Figures Toy Company figures. I don't buy all of them by any means, but there's a few out there that I think look good enough for me to purchase. And PCO, I think, fits that bill for me. So we're going to do it like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it, and we'll see where it goes from there. So let's kick it off. Let's look at the packaging first and describe what we see here. Now, Figures Toy Company, I would say, is more known for their Mego type figures they have out there. You know, they have the presidents, they got superheroes, they got everything under the sun. If you go to their website, millions of different toys you can get. But they have these big clamshell packages, and they are put together with a zip tie. So that's how you know it's mint on card, I guess. But if you dig through their website, you can buy these actual zip ties. So if you wanted to cut this open, buy some zip ties, lock them back up, and sell it mint on card, I don't know if anybody would ever know the difference. So it is kind of genius, but it's also kind of deceptive, I guess, to collectors out there. So that is a watch out if you guys weren't aware of that. But these big clamshell packages, looks like a figure basically in a Defender is what it looks like. You don't have to worry about these getting damaged. I mean, very hard, rigid plastic, basically like a Defender case these come in. But then I always do love, one thing they really do have going for them, I always like the packaging on these, the inside. I like the card with the actual glamour shot of real life character right there. I always think that looks really cool. You get the Ring of Honor logos down here, officially licensed product, which is key, of course. Figures Toy Company logo. You get PCO's name up top, and then, like I said, a cool glamour shot of PCO right there. And then you get Ring of Honor up here as well. So no sides on this packaging, as you can see, but we do get a back. And we got warnings and UPCs, all that fun stuff way down low. Then you got a big cross sell. Look at all those different figures they're promoting right there. We got a blurb, we got another glamour shot along with the Ring of Honor logo up top. We're going to read about what it says about our boy PCO on the back here. Let's see what it says. Though he had achieved success with some of the 90s biggest pro organizations, PCO spent the ensuing decade away from mainstream wrestling. As far as the industry was concerned, he was dead and buried. But in 2016, a monster was brought back to life with electricity and became not human. Quickly becoming one of the most sought-after wrestlers on the circuit, this hard-hitting big man with superhuman strength and surprising agility would finally make his Ring of Honor debut in 2018. Pro debut 1987, 300 pounds from Montreal, Quebec. Old PCO. So there he is. So we're going to do it. We're going to unbox him. Got the scissors out. We're going to have to cut this zip tie here, I think. Let me get it. Oh, come on. There it is. Now it's officially broken. But like I said, you can buy these zip ties actually on the Figures Toy Company website, which I find kind of funny. But let's pull them out here. See how it goes. This is really cool packaging, though. I wish more figures came in protective cases like this that you could put back in and in. You can see it just like so right here. See you later off to the side. And then it's just a card, and there it is, just like this. So it's a heavy stock card right here. Very cool. I mean, you can just keep this, or like I do, I keep this whole thing. Might as well. Just keep it. Why not? So then you get PCO here. He is twist tied in, so I'm going to try to cut these twist ties out. There's 1. I feel like I'm in Sesame Street. 2, 3, 4. There he is. PCO all cut out of the package here. There it is. Get these off of the table. There it goes. There it goes. See you later. Get out of here. All right, what do we think about PCO here? What do we know? So now these Figures Toy Company figures, a lot of people hate them. I'm going to be honest with you. There's a lot of people that are very negative on these figures, and I do understand where they're coming from with modern day technologies, the way Mattel has moved the business forward, the way Jazzwares has moved the business forward. These guys seem to be a little bit stuck in the past, I guess, and a lot of people kind of joke, hey, they're Jakks Ruthless Aggressions. And they kind of are. They're Jakks Ruthless Aggressions with Jakks Deluxe Aggression arms. Kind of a hybrid between the two styles. So it's a little bit of a different... What do we got going on here? We got like an action feature? I get sidetracked. But a lot of people are down on these figures because of that. And they're more comical, bigger size. They don't scale with your Mattels and Elites. And we will compare it to a bunch of different wrestling figures, so you can kind of see a height and size comparison here in this video. But PCO, like I said, is a character I enjoy. And I've found over the years with these Figure Toy Company figures, if a guy has a mask or face paint, PCO's got face paint, the eyes, as you'll see here, they do a good job with those. And then giving him the bodysuit that kind of covers up a lot of the body on these figures, if that makes sense, makes these look a lot better. It's just smoke and mirrors. It's all about smoke and mirrors. Now, he is tall compared to most figures, but you can stand him in the back. You can put a little bend in his knee, and I think you can make him mix throughout. So looking at this PCO, one thing I always worry about with Figures Toy Companies of the past, I've had figures from them right out of the box with loose wrists or loose elbows, stuff like that. That does not seem to be the case here. It's very strange. This seems to have like an action to it, almost like a old school Super Friends. I feel like I should squeeze his legs and an arm will do a chop, but I thought it was loose, but he's got a little bit of an action there. This arm is just regular, but you can get the Jakks loose arm syndrome. We've seen with Jakks figures over the years. Their arms get loose, stuff like that. They get wobbly. You could have that problem with playing with these. So I don't think they're very durable for long-term play, but most kids aren't buying these figures. These are adult collector's toys, I think, for the most part. I'd say 99%. But looking at this PCO, I do like it. I do like it. I wish it was scaled to Mattel, of course, Jazzwares scale. Of course, I would like that. But I do like his head. I like the eyes, the white-out eyes. I like the face paint, of course, a little paint going on there. They got the scars on his face. Got his kind of half hair, half... I was going to say mohawk, but not really. Half hair is cut on his head. That looks good. And then we got soft goods with him, and I'm looking over the soft goods. I don't see any tears, any snags. The material is really nice, very stretchy. They did paint on the scar on his chest. That's very Jakks era, if you think back to the Sabu figures, but they did add that attention to detail. They gave him his black glove. I like that. Got his whole jumpsuit apparatus going on. You got PCO on the side. The lettering is nice. Got kick pads on the boots that are soft goods. No foothold, no pegs. You can't peg him in anywhere, but he's a big enough figure. He'll stand just fine on his own. Actually, this isn't shabby. As far as Figures Toys Company go, this is right up there with the Demon. Is probably my favorite one. Right out, the little time I've spent with this one, I do like it. He does have his tattoos on his arm. Very comical tattoo. I mean, it really looks like, you know, tattoos from 15 years ago is what this looks like on action figures. It doesn't look updated to current Mattel Jazzwares tattoos, for sure. But, yeah, I don't mind this. I don't mind this. Now, articulation-wise, you got your Jakks articulation. You got the arms that fully spin around, of course. You got elbow articulation. You got wrist articulation. You got head articulation. You got the knees, of course, and the legs go up and down. No side-to-sides there, and you don't have waist. Nope, no waist articulation on this guy. So it is nowhere near as articulated as modern-day wrestling figures out there. But how many of you guys, I guess you need articulation. If you're a figure photographer, you want articulation. But if you're standing just on a shelf like I am, it's not as big of a deal to some, but it would be nice to have more articulation with this one. I would say that. But all in all, it's not bad. It's not a bad figure for $25, let's call it. And if you're a big enough PCO fan, I don't see Mattel or Jazzwares getting us a PCO anytime soon. This is probably your only chance at a PCO figure. And I wanted him represented in my collection, so it made sense for me to pick this up. Have I seen better? Yes. Have I seen worse? Yes. So this is better than expected is what I'm going to say with this figure toy company. Just knowing some of the past issues I've had in the past, this is better than expected. So maybe quality has risen. Maybe it has gotten better. They struggle like a lot of people, like a Super 7, but even worse, if that makes sense, is they announce things and it takes a long time to get to retail. And by the time it gets to retail, they're kind of forgotten about. And that's how I was with this PCO. I was initially excited, forgot about it for about a year. Then it came in stock and they were promoting it. Oh, okay, I need that PCO. So that's how it went. But I could see the ankle joints getting loose on this one over time as well. That was a common Jax issue over the years. And I could see this one having the same problem. It's the same mold, so that could possibly happen. So I guess there's some articulation watches out that could happen in the future with this one. But all in all, like I said, I'm fairly happy with my purchase here. I feel like I got my money's worth, if that makes sense. So there's PCO. Let me put him here. Then I'm going to put him next to the Demon. You guys know old Dale Torborg, the Demon, from WCW heyday, as I get him straightened out. But that's probably my favorite FTC figure right here is the Demon. I always like this one. It just, you know, face paint, mask, Kiss, heavy metal, hard rock, whatever you want to call it. Works for me. It works for me. So there's the Demon. How about Terry Funk, Ruthless Aggression, Classic Superstar? You can kind of see the height comparisons here. You know, obviously these two are good. Terry Funk's good. He displays right there with him. And I should say, I do display, I think, all of them now. All of my Figures Toy Company figures, I display them with my Jax Ruthless Aggression and Deluxe Aggression figures. That's where I display them, because they do really fit, as you can see right here. How about a Jax Deluxe Aggression Scott Steiner? One of my favorite Deluxe Aggression figures. I guess this was Deluxe Impact figure from his TNA days. You can see he's a little bit bigger than PCO there, a little bit taller. How about AEW Jazzwares? Got Matt Hardy right here. We'll try Matt Hardy. Actually, that's not terrible, is it? I mean, PCO, I guess I don't know their heights off the top of my head, but they're probably pretty close. That seems okay. Obviously, the the figure seems a little bit different. The quality on the Jazzwares, even though the elbow issues I always complain about, still a lot better quality on the Jazzwares, of course. But you can kind of see him next to PCO there for a little height. And then Mattel Elite, how about? How about Kushida? I think that's, I don't know. Kushida's a smaller guy, definitely, than PCO, but you can kind of see how they scale between each other. Kushida is on a stand here, though. I should mention that. So you get that little bit right there. And then how about Will Ospreay, Super 7? That's the one I felt would maybe look best. And that looks about right. About Super 7 height, quality, size. You could put these with your Super 7 figures. We know we got Matt Cardona, Brian Myers, the Good Brothers coming, and maybe some more, as well as New Japan Part 2 coming soon. So we got some options there. So there's a few things. How about Micro Brawler PCO? I don't buy a lot of Micro Brawlers, but I did get the PCO Micro Brawler back in the day. I couldn't pass that one up. Had to get it. So there he is for a little height comparison. And I got one more at the table. Why not? We'll compare him to Spider-Man. How about the retro body Spider-Man? There it is. PCO looking like a villain. Maybe he could be one of Electro's henchmen or something like that. Maybe there's something like that it could do. But just because he's here, Spider-Man invited to the table. So there it is. There's PCO with a lot of comparisons. Any thoughts from you guys out there on Figures Toy Company? Have you picked up any of their figures? Have you passed on their figures? Let me know what you think down in the comments. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, of course. Make sure you follow me on social media at SirPaul64 on Twitter, _Kyle_Peterson on Instagram, and of course, ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. So for PCO and everybody else at the table, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.